The holiday times are very tricky for Switch owners, Christmas in particular, because there's a lot of stuff we want. And one of the unfortunate facts is that things on Nintendo Switch are expensive. Video games in general are one of the most expensive hobbies on the planet because there are so many games that come out, so many accessories, you gotta buy a console, there's a lot that goes into it. So what if you are more on a budget, or you have a child that is more on a budget, a friend, and you don't have a ton of money? Well, today I am here to recommend a whole bunch of stuff that is budget / cheaper that you can get for that Switch lover in your family or circle of friends. Hello everybody, Gabe from SwitchForce here, and we're not gonna only talk about games. Of course, we will talk about a few games, but there are other things that we can mention here, and they are gonna make your gift receivers, I think that's what, your receivees life a little bit better or more fun when it comes to Nintendo Switch. With that, we are going to get started with the first thing here. The Nintendo Switch comes with two controls, the Joy-Con. If you want to play single Joy-Con, cool. You have two controls at the very least. But what if they don't want to play with single Joy-Con? What if they want to play two-player games locally and want to use both Joy-Con to have that more traditional control experience? Well, that is where this thing comes in. Excuse me while I reach into it. This is a Pro controller. This is expensive. This is very expensive. This is upwards of $70 most of the time. On eBay you can get a little bit cheaper sometimes, but this is an expensive controller. One of my favorite controllers, but still expensive. Let's toss it there. Hopefully it doesn't break because it is expensive. And let's talk about wired controllers. Now, GameStop has their Game Days sale going right now through the 25th of December. So right up to Christmas, if you are thinking of getting one of these items as a Christmas gift, you have a lot of time, and they have a variety of wired controllers for very, very cheap, as little as $17.99 for this Nintendo Switch Face-Off wired Pro controller with a Mario Star. Now, you're probably not gonna get the gyro stuff, but that's okay. It's $17.99, and if all your receivee wants is to play games with someone else on a more traditional methods, this you can't go wrong with. You also have the Super Mario M wired controller, which is red. It brings a little bit more vibrancy and color into their life, as well as a Mario logo. You can't go wrong with these. And for less than 20 bucks is a fantastic value. I've used them before. I don't own one, but two friends of mine do own them, and they're cheaper controllers, and you know what those are like. Growing up, if you ever went to a friend's house and they had Xbox and they had one of those wired, like, non-Microsoft controllers, this is exactly what this feels like. There are a variety of manufacturers out there that have these. You can also check Amazon. You can find some really cheap controllers there as well. These ones specifically from GameStop, they usually retail for $25. They are on sale right now through the 25th for $18. That's a pretty good savings there. For less than 20 bucks, you can get a decent gift, a decent sized box, if that matters, for you to wrap up as well. So definitely check those out. A second controller never hurt anyone. But Gabe, they already have controllers. They're all set. They don't need any of those. What else can I get them that's like really cheap, because I don't want to spend a lot of money? This next one is extremely useful, especially for new Switch owners and people that are first coming into the ecosystem in the holiday season. That is an SD card. The sad fact is that the Switch only has 32 gigs of internal memory. That is not a lot. If you get Zelda and you get Smash, you can't really fit too much else on there. And I wish that there was more internal with the Switch, and maybe there will be something next year that has it, but for now, you got to get one of these SD cards. And the good news is that they are very cheap. For this, we're going to head over to Amazon. And then what I'm going to recommend is the Samsung 128 gig micro SD Evo Select memory card with adapter. It is $20 for 128 gigs. Of course, if you want something cheaper, there is SanDisk. They have a 64 gig one for $11.99. $12 gets you a really good SD card for that as well. It depends how many games you think that this person that you're gonna give the gift to is gonna own. If they are like really hardcore gamers, they like the big games on the platform, get them the 128 gig. I personally have one of those like completely filled. So I know that 128 gig sounds like a lot, but they can be easily filled, especially when the third-party games now require like separate downloads and things like that because they're too big. The bigger size Switch carts aren't coming until next year, so this is gonna be very handy. I say go for the 128 gig, and then they don't really have to worry about replacing it ever again. And maybe they already have one and they already filled it up, so get them a second one. No one's gonna ever turn their nose at an SD card just because they are so invaluable for the Switch ecosystem. They are absolutely a requirement. Those 32 gigs are not enough. So yes, if you love someone that has a Switch and they don't have an SD card, even if it's not for the holidays, just get them one anyways. They're so cheap. I told you guys I was going to mention some games, and right now we have our first one. You just got the SD card for someone. Maybe you want to get them a game as well. This game kind of requires an SD card almost because it's so big, and LA Noire is available for $20 new at GameStop in that previous sale that I was talking about. I know that Zach really loves LA Noire, and so do I. Team Bondi did a fantastic job. It's a noir thriller action storytelling game from Rockstar. We don't see a lot of Rockstar games on Nintendo console, so it's really cool to come out and support this. And for 20 bucks, you are going to get a really worthwhile story with, like, at the time, revolutionary graphics. And they're not so revolutionary now on Switch, but it still looks good. The port holds up very well, and it's a fun story. You're a detective. You're out there solving murders. There is a lot of fun to be had. So there you have it, the first game suggestion. GameStop coming in the clutch with $20 on LA Noire. Next up, keeping things around $20 price range, maybe a little bit lower, maybe a little bit higher, depending on where you want to go with this, is a case. These things are really useful. When traveling, they are ideal. You do not want to be the person wrapping shirts around the Switch like I've had to do on some occasions. I have this, one of the first cases that got launched on the Switch with all this Mario stuff on it, but I also have some that I got on Amazon, and I dropped the case on the floor, it's fine. There is a few tucked away that I don't use as much. For some reason, this is the one I always gravitate towards because it's very thin. I can fit it in my backpack without an issue. But there are various prices here. You can go for something as cheap as $10. You can go for something as expensive as $30 that is a little bit bigger. You can pack the Switch plus some controllers and you know, game cases and things like that. So this is going to depend on how much you want to spend. You can keep it under 20. I know that I've gotten cases on Amazon, and they're not on sale right now, for like $6, $8 maybe, that are really good, and they still protect the Switch. They do a fantastic job of it. You are not going to run any danger of breaking your Switch if you get one of these cheap cases. They do protect it. I can attest to that. So if you have a Switch owner that travels every once in a while and you just see their Switch lying about, get them a case. The last thing you want is for their Switch to get scratched or broken, and that's never a good time. Who wants to replace a $300 console? I don't. I'd rather just get this case for 10, 15, 20 bucks, doesn't matter. And they will be protected going forward, and maybe they'll remember you when their Switch isn't scratched and they take it out of their backpack, they see the case, they're gonna think of you every time. Don't you want to be thought of by the person you're giving this gift to? You probably do. While Super Smash Bros. Can't make the list here because it's not cheap, it's a full $60 retail product. Maybe somebody else gave them Super Smash Bros., somebody with a little bit more money, and it's okay. Let them do that. Maybe they bought it for themselves, it doesn't matter. You still want to make their Smash experience a little bit better. They already have controllers, so you don't want to give them that. There is one thing that can help out. Sakurai himself said, hey, play with the LAN adapter, please, so that the connection for the online servers could be as best as possible, and that is what we are going to recommend here. The Nintendo official one runs for $30, sometimes a little bit more. I've seen it. $30 is a lot for a LAN adapter. If you go on Amazon, any old LAN adapter from USB to Ethernet, it's gonna work. So you can find some for less than $15. And the one I'm showing you here is an Amazon bestseller. It's Ugreen Ethernet Adapter 2.0 for $12.39. You are saving over half of what you would spend on the Nintendo official one, and that's kind of the way that it goes with Nintendo officially licensed accessories like this. They have a premium price. There's SD cards that are $60. For the same price, you'll get 128 gigs or even more if you don't go the Nintendo route. Nintendo is of course going to say, hey, get ours, because they want to make that money. But these work just as well. I've seen that these things do work just like the Nintendo one. I've had the Nintendo one, and I mean, it works. It's an Ethernet adapter. It makes your connection way more stable. Yes, you probably want it for Smash. Sakurai said so, and we will do everything Sakurai says because that man deserves the world. And yeah, get it. 13 bucks, you can't go wrong with this. It's so cheap, and the Smash lover in your family will thank you for it. And now it is time for the next game on our list. This one was a little bit cheaper, $5 cheaper in Black Friday than it is right now, but $25 for Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle is a steal. I love the game. I am going to continue to sing its praises for as long as I possibly can, and anytime I have a chance to give it some shine in a video and talk about how awesome it is, especially for the price, is I'm gonna take the opportunity. I'm gonna have to take it. Sorry, guys. So $25 gives you an experience that is not short. It is like XCOM for more beginner-friendly people that have never played strategy games. It has Mario in it. It has a cute story. The rabbits are not annoying. Even Rabbit Peach, who was kind of obnoxious during the reveal trailers, everybody was like, she ended up being really cool as well. So this game, man, it is one of the best games on Switch. You're gonna get it for less than $30, and whoever you give it to is gonna have a good time. There is a Donkey Kong expansion that they can go purchase. There's co-op. There's a lot of challenges that have been released. The post-release content, while not plentiful, what was there is really, really good, and it's honestly just a really fun mixture of Ubisoft and Nintendo's biggest franchises, and it's an amalgamation of fun, and hopefully there's a sequel or something in the works that is similar. The Ubisoft and Nintendo relationship must go on. You get it for $25 at GameStop, maybe other retailers as well, but GameStop has it right now for that cheap. I didn't even realize this next thing was needed until the release of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about here. If you're playing with a single Joy-Con, playing with that neon red Joy-Con myself for Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, those things run out of battery eventually. They do have a great battery life. Same with the Pro Controller. Fantastic, fantastic battery life, but I forget to plug them in back into the Switch, and then I want to play a couple days from now, and boom, I don't have a ton of battery. So why not get yourself a charging dock? Today we are going to highlight the PowerA Joy-Con and Pro Controller charging dock. It is on Amazon for $15. It is usually $30, so you are getting half off right there. If you order right now, you will get it before Christmas, and this thing is actually really useful. You just put your Pro Controller on there or your Joy-Con, and it charges it for you. Come on. You're gonna forget to charge your Pro Controller. I forget it all the time. I don't wanna have to play with a wire attached. I know neither do you, unless you got that wired controller, then you kind of do wanna play with a wire attached. But you probably just give that controller to your cousin anyways. I don't think that you use it. You probably use a good controller. I know you. This item is officially licensed by Nintendo, so it gets their seal of approval. They can confirm it will not kill your controllers in any way. Half off, $15, never run out of battery, guys. Why? I had to go buy a battery for the mic. This mic ran out of battery. I wish I had a charging dock for my mic. Didn't have one. I wish I did. It charges 2 Joy-Con controllers and 1 Nintendo Switch Pro Controller at the same time. Come on, man. All your controller needs are going to be taken care of with this one product. And it's less than $20. We have a recurring theme here. These things are all so cheap. Look, the Switch is designed beautifully. It is a fantastic console. I love the way it feels in handheld, but one of the glaring issues, one of the very few issues with the actual hardware itself, is that the kickstand is not very good. Let's solve that problem by going with the Hori compact playstand for Nintendo Switch, officially licensed by Nintendo. We like things that are officially licensed by Nintendo, and this playstand is going to make it so that you have some angles. Everyone likes some angles. You can have angles while playing the game, and you don't have to deal with that very cheap kickstand that's constantly feeling like it's gonna break. Hopefully the only time you ever have to deal with the kickstand is to lift it up and put the SD card in there that you bought as well from this list. This thing comes in for $12.99 on Amazon. Super budget friendly, super budget conscious, and in my opinion, this one is actually like really good for younger kids. If you have, you know, a pair of little siblings or something that have a Switch and they play in tabletop with a single Joy-Con sitting on a carpet or whatever, this thing is gonna actually really help, because they'll be able to sit at more comfortable postures, and for $13, it's a really good deal, and I think everyone should have it, especially if you do a lot of tabletop gameplay. It is one of the featured ways to play the Nintendo Switch, and for a price this cheap, you cannot go wrong. Hori is a name you can trust. They do a lot of officially licensed products for Nintendo, and this is just one of their many great options. And for the last game we are going to recommend today, and remember, we are thinking holiday gifts, so I'm thinking about someone a little bit younger that can't purchase their own games. $20 for LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2 is going to be a phenomenal value. They are going to have such a good time. If they have friends, they'll be able to play split Joy-Con and local co-op with. There is a lot of content in there. It will keep them busy for hours and hours and hours of the day if that is what you want to do. And to be honest, who doesn't love Marvel? The movies are more popular than ever. There's an Avengers movie coming next year, and everybody really loved the one that came this year. It's Marvel. You can't go wrong with that. Kids love superheroes. Who doesn't want to be a superhero? I know you do. And for LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2, $20 at GameStop in that sale that I mentioned, you can do it. $20 is almost nothing. You spend more than that on coffee a week. So get a younger person or yourself this game to play with a younger sibling, a child, doesn't matter. It's a really good quality experience, and they should be commended because they release these day and date, and now they are on sale. They are super cheap. Get on them. I actually played a little bit of Lego Marvel Superheroes too, so I can attest to the quality, and it's a good one. If you play Lego games in the past on any platform, you're going to feel right at home, and they've just added a lot of cool stuff from the last one. If you play the original Lego Marvel Superheroes, you know exactly what to expect here. A cool story, some fun co-op, and a really good time for everyone involved. So there you have it. If you're like me, you don't want to spend a ton of money on gifts for your many friends and family. Hey, $20 gifts, $15 gifts, that becomes way easier to swallow. And if you have Switch owners in your life, some of these items will help a ton. I wanted to make sure that the games I mentioned range from, adult games with Eleanor to more kid-friendly with Lego Marvel Superheroes 2. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle kind of falls in the middle there. So there's something for everybody on this list. If they got Smash, get them that LAN Adapter. There is so much to do here, and it's not gonna hurt your wallet in any way. So let me know if you are picking up any of this stuff in the comments below. I will actually have links to everything I mentioned in the description. Go check that out. And if any of these suggestions helped out, like I said, comments, we'll have discourse. Maybe if you have some suggestions, throw them down there and I will check them up as well. Maybe have a follow-up video at a later time. But thank you for watching. You guys are greatly appreciated. Thank you for the continued support here on SwitchForce. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed the video or you found it informative or you're stealing gift ideas. Doesn't matter. Just hit the thumbs up. It helps. And thank you guys for watching. Twitter link is in the description. Follow us there for shenanigans, giveaways, all types of other fun stuff. And we will catch you on the next one. SwitchForce out.